Testing. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Roundtable Sports. Man, I think I'm having an issue here with my audio. I'm trying to figure out. All right, there we go. We should be good now. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel. Listen, man, Friday morning is here. Y'all get on in the building and punch that like button. Playoff prediction time. Oh my gosh, what an NFL season. This is what it's all about. I've been telling y'all for the longest that this year is going to be the best NFL season that we've ever had. And before we get into the playoff predictions, I got to give some shout outs, around the NFL to a couple of teams that have showed up and showed out and actually just highly impressed, man. Just all around, man. I want to give some love to some teams. We want to start from the top all the way down to the bottom. So let's do it, man. First and foremost, the Kansas City Chiefs. You just keep doing your thing. I don't know how you do it. I bet against you so many times and been wrong. And at this point, you got to stop. You got to stop. If you're a football fan, you got to stop betting against the Chiefs. And it's so weird because it's almost like they, like, from games like 1 through 12 almost, it's like they ain't been playing their best football. And it's like, oh, they could be beat. But could they? And then, they're finishing the season very, very, very strong. So that goes a long way. So Kansas City Chiefs, can you three-peat? Can you three-peat? Y'all put it in the chat. Y'all let me know. Do you think the Kansas City Chiefs can actually three-peat? All right. I don't know. Then you have the Buffalo Bills. Woo! The Buffalo Bills out here scaring people, man, because why? They beat the Lions and they beat the Chiefs. The only team that actually beat the Chiefs this year, which is highly, highly, highly impressive. But do they have what it takes to beat, teams like the Chiefs and the Ravens in the playoffs? I don't know. But great season, man. We're talking about a roster that before the season started, everybody wrote off. Oh, y'all don't have nothing. You got Josh Allen. You lost Stephon Diggs. Y'all, oh, man, you got rid of all your veteran defensive players. Y'all don't have nothing. But here they are, number 2 so far in the AFC. Then you move forward to the Baltimore Ravens. Man, Lamar Jackson playing the best football he has ever played. Derrick Henry absolutely going off. And I told y'all in preseason, Derrick Henry going to have a career year. A lot of people doubted that. No. I told you, Derrick Henry's going to have a career year, man. That threat with him and Lamar is going to open it up for both of them. But then they started rough. If we kind of was like, ooh, Baltimore might not make the playoffs. They picked up that lunch pail, put their head down, got to work, and next thing you know, here they are in the last week of the season, ready to win the division. Ready to win their division. We'll see if Pittsburgh has something to say about that. All right. And then you talk about Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh, man, I'm conflicted because all season is like, they're not as good as they are, but they kept proving, yeah, we are. And it was like right when it was time to give them their respect, then they start losing. Now they not looking as sharp. They better finish strong this weekend. But that's a team that can threaten anybody. Pittsburgh could come in and really, really, really threaten anybody, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Next up, you got the Chargers. Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine the Chargers being in this position? Harbaugh. Like, everybody knew this was a 6-7 win team. Max. No. Harbaugh said, no, we're going to draft well. We're going to turn his defense around. We're going to put some structure around Herbert's game. We don't need him to be Superman putting up 40 points every week. We just need him to hand that ball off to J.K. Dobbins. O-line, do your job. And when we need Herbert to hit him with that play action, we're going to hit him with it and with accuracy. And he's not going to turn the ball over. And that's what they've done, and they are 10-6, looking to be 11-6. Now, we talk about KOC, Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota being the coach of the year, but you got to give it up to Harbaugh now. You got to give him some credit too. So that's a very interesting situation right there, man. All right, and then you have the Houston Texans. I'm gonna be honest with you. No disrespect to the Texans fans, but this is the one. This is the one team that I don't know, man. Like, yeah, you have a winning record, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Out of every team that I've listed so far, this might be the weakest one. But again, they can threaten you. They can threaten you. But to be fair to the Texans, they've been through a lot of drama this year. CJ Stroud, sophomore slump, you can argue. Losing out on Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell, Nico Collins going out at some point, finally getting them back. Can they get back into form? I don't know. But guess what? They got to finish out this weekend strong, and then let's see what they do in the playoffs. All right. And then you got those three teams at the bottom fighting to get into the playoffs between the Denver Broncos, Dolphins, and Bengals. And I want to start out with the Bengals, man. I don't think they need to continue with their coach. This should be one of the best teams in the NFL in that top 3 range. And then you start out so weak like that, you got to get somebody in there who could take control of that defense. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we know that the coach is an offensive coach and that he helps his offense do what it do. But I ain't buying it. Get you a defensive coach in there because you got Joe Burrow. The offense ain't going to fall flat on his face with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So go ahead and get you a Vrabel, a Flores, and that team will turn around big time. Okay? But the Bengals, hey, they got an opportunity to try to get in this week, but they need some help. They need help from the Dolphins. They need the Dolphins to lose, and they need the Broncos to lose. But speaking of the Dolphins, man, just turmoil because the team is literally, as that's my team, they have a quarterback that they just paid. They got a wide receiver in Tyreek Hill. They extended. They got a offensive lineman in Teron Armstead. They restructured and extended. They got all these contracts up and down. Chubb's contract, Ramsey's contract, all this extension, and look at it. It may not even make the playoffs. Now it needs help. And then the quarterback can't even stay healthy. Missed 4 games earlier in the season that put the team in this position where the team went 1-3. And now they're fighting for their playoff life, and the quarterback's nowhere to be found again. Just terrible times in Miami. What shall they do going forward? Who knows? All right, but hey, they still got a chance to get in off the strength of Tyler Huntley. Let's see what they do. And the Denver Broncos, you got to give these guys some credit too. Rookie quarterback, Bo Nix. Man, defense playing phenomenal. Bo Nix playing just as good as Jaden Daniels, if you want to be honest. Big ups to the Broncos, man. Big ups to the Broncos. All right. It's interesting because you had Russell Wilson there last year and didn't amount to nothing, and now Bo Nix is there, and they're eating a lot of dead cap, and that team is still competitive. Congratulations. Can you beat the Chiefs this week to get in? Oh, man, it's going to be a Royal Rumble. All right. And honorable mention, losing honorable mention, Indianapolis Colts, Jets, Raiders, Jags, Browns, Titans, Patriots. Just terrible. I'm going to be honest with you. Colts, man, y'all had a chance, but I don't even need to discuss y'all. That's just you lost to the Giants last week. No need to talk about you. All right, let's move over to the NFC. All right, quick breakdown of this year. Detroit Lions with the number 1 seed right now. Phenomenal team. But the problem is late in the season, they're banged up. Late in the season, they are banged up. And will they be number 1 seed for long? They have a juggernaut game on Sunday night versus the Minnesota Vikings. Juggernaut game. And we'll get to the Vikings in a second. But Detroit has been an amazing team all season, only 2 losses. But can they beat the Vikings in the last week to hold on to that spot? Now, I'm going to go talk about the Vikings right now instead of Philly because that's who's at the top. And the Minnesota Vikings, man, they've been the Cinderella story of the season. They've been the Cinderella story of the season. They got all three phases of the football. Solid special teams. Offense that can score with the best of them with amazing weapons, a good running game with Aaron. And Sam Darnold is playing like a top 5 MVP candidate, if we're going to be honest. Never saw this coming. Nobody did. And last but not least, that defense, number 2 in the NFL. And the crazy thing about the defense, it's a whole bunch of players that really a lot of football fans don't even know about. People are like, oh, the Vikings got a stack D. Name them. Can you please name them? If you're not in the division, try to name the defense. Try to name players on the defense. You can't name these guys. Why? Because they're young, or there's some veterans that some people would think were washed, Gilmores and people like that of the world. You know, I mean, this defense is loaded. Cashman, Turner, I mean, Van Ginkel. I mean, it's just Brian Flores, their defensive coordinator, has done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. And when you put that with KOC on that offense, this team is actually the team to beat, in my opinion. But can they go into Detroit on the road, last game of the season, and beat up on the depleted Detroit Lions? If they do, the Chiefs and the Vikings are going to be the favorites. If they don't, then the road to the Super Bowl is going to run through Detroit or Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles are flying high, but their quarterback got some questions with the concussion in that protocol. They got all the weapons too. They're the number 1 defense. They got an offense that tush pushes is almost unstoppable, but they got A.J. Brown, Smith, the run game with Saquon. And right now is Jalen Hurts healthy? Is Jalen Hurts healthy enough to lead the troops? Man, the NFL is so healthy right now. You see the NBA ratings going down. NFL ratings ain't going down. This is crazy how good of a storyline this season has been. Then you move forward to the Washington Commanders, man. Jaden Daniels, a rookie, leading the troops. That showdown with Michael Penix last week was amazing. Both guys stepped up and were clutch for the quarterback, and Jaden Daniels got the best, but he's been leading the way all season. Nobody saw that coming either. In the NFC East, this was supposed to be the Cowboys. Look at the Cowboys. That's another story. Phenomenal. Wow. Then you move forward to the Green Bay Packers. It's like they're such a good team, but they're second fiddle to the Lions and the Vikings. But, you know, the NFC North is the strongest division in football this year. Let's just call it what it is. Green Bay can beat almost every team except those 2 in their division right now. It almost seems, unless they see them again in the playoffs, you never know. You never know. Green Bay just losing to Minnesota, by the way, one of the better teams in the league, ladies and gentlemen. Then you take it on up a notch and you go to the Rams. First of all, let me say this to everybody in that division with the Rams. Shame on y'all. The Rams were the one team that was in the grave. And the Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, and San Francisco 49ers were very much alive and healthy and literally let the Rams rise from the grave and take the whole division. I don't know how that happened. Let's rewind 10 weeks ago. The Rams ain't it this year. And everybody else in contention fighting. You let the Rams come out of the grave and take the division and tell all 3 of y'all, no, y'all stay outside. Y'all can't get in. Oh, I don't know what to tell you happened over there. But kudos to the Rams, man. Big time kudos to the Rams. Man, I can't believe this mess. I looked up, was like, hold on. Oh, man. Good job to the Rams, man. 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals, y'all got some Boy, y'all got some stuff. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to do a stream where I break down every team, like going deep dive into every team because I got a lot to say about a lot of these teams. All right. All right, let's move forward. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, man, he's still playing phenomenal football. I'm proud of him because when you look at it, Geno Smith was playing phenomenal football last year. Baker was playing phenomenal football. These guys rejuvenated their careers, got paid. Baker's still balling. Geno, take a sip of my coffee. Geno got to stop throwing them picks, man. But Geno ain't been the same. He put the yards up, but no. But Baker's been leading the troops. And Baker had some things he had to go through this year. Losing almost every receiver on the roster. Losing almost every receiver on the roster. And they still fighting. Salute to Baker. Trying to lead the Bucs into the playoffs, take care of business, trying to hold Atlanta off, and we'll see how that works out. Time will tell. Time will tell. And then last but not least, the Atlanta Falcons trying to stay in. Kirk Cousins has been a huge disappointment this year. Started out okay, but then just got bad. Now they've gone to the rookie Michael Penix. They are already seeing flashes that he is their future. And can they get in the playoffs? They need help. They need Baker and them to fall, and they need to win. We'll see how that works out, but good job. Good job to the Atlanta Falcons. Moving on to the rookie and getting a look at your future and knowing, hey, yeah, we got something here. All right. Honorable mention, like I said, Seattle, Cardinals, San Francisco, Cowboys, Saints, Bears, Panthers, and the Giants. Terrible. All right. But that's your NFL teams, man. Those are your NFL teams. Now, from a prediction standpoint, right? And I need to go to the playoff machine real quick. Give me a second. Wait, what happened here? Y'all give me a second. My browser just did something crazy with the weather. Let me back up for a second. All right, here we go. I'm back. My bad. Whoa. I got an issue. Oh my gosh, I must have did something terribly wrong this morning. I am live on 8 different channels right now. What happened? Y'all bear with me. I am live on 8 channels right now. I'm live on almost all the roundtables. I must have somehow hit almost all of those buttons for all these roundtables. I am live on almost every single roundtable, ladies and gentlemen, right now. NFC South, NFC East, NFC North, Roundtable Sports, and the Twitter, NFC West, AFC West, and the AFC South. 8 channels, you man, keep it live. I don't know if I could do this though. How did that happen? It is what it is. All right. Well, let's roll out for right now. That's weird. That's weird, but it's all good. I guess everybody hit the like button hit the like button on your roundtable. Well, do me this favor, ladies and gentlemen, because I guess a lot of y'all don't know that within Roundtable Sports, this is the main channel, Roundtable Sports. So if you're on your individual roundtable right now, because you're not going to get this show every morning, this is a show that's live every single morning, 8:30 to 9:30 on Roundtable Sports. So go to Roundtable Sports and subscribe to the main channel right now. And this is crazy. This is wild. I didn't even realize I was live on every channel. I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick because this is where we want you to watch it, because every morning we're live talking football, talking basketball, talking everything. We talk all sports. This is the main mother channel of the network, which is Roundtable Sports. So as we're live on all these channels right now, I just dropped the link in the chat. Click on that link and come over and subscribe to Roundtable Sports, the main channel, because this is where we are. A lot of y'all may not know that. Just FYI, okay? Yeah, I saw you were live on AFC West channel. I didn't even realize. Now I can't restart. It's all good though. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, at least a lot of y'all know about the channel now. Bro went worldwide this morning. I guess so. I don't know what happened. I must have like highlighted all of them or something. I guess so. All right. But come over to the main Roundtable channel and subscribe to Roundtable Sports. So NFC North, y'all the biggest audience in here for the individual roundtables right now. All y'all come over to Roundtable Sports, click that link, and subscribe to this main channel. All right. Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. We're live, so you can come get some good content right here on Roundtable Sports, talking all sports. All right. He trying to be Roger Goodell. Why not? Why not? We building something special at Roundtable Sports. It's amazing, man. We are definitely building something special. All right. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get back into it. Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and project out what I think is going to happen this week. All right. I could be wrong. But here's what I'm going to project out is going to happen this week. So don't get mad at me if I don't pick your team to win. But first and foremost, I got the Baltimore Ravens beating the Cleveland Browns. I have the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have the Texans beating the Titans. I have Atlanta beating Carolina. I have the Bucks beating the Saints. I have the Bills beating the Patriots. I have the Colts beating the Jags. I have Washington beating the Cowboys. The Eagles beating the Giants, regardless of resting their starters. I got Green Bay beating the Bears. I have the Rams beating Seattle. Miami beating the Jets. Kansas City beating Denver. Chargers beating the Raiders. I got San Francisco beating the Arizona Cardinals. And I do have Minnesota beating the Lions. That's what I have this week for the projections, okay? What that would do is give the Chiefs the number 1 seed, Buffalo number 2, Baltimore number 3, Houston number 4, Miami number 7, Chargers number 5, Pittsburgh number 6, and Miami number 7. On the other side, and I'm about to share screen with you guys, I have Minnesota number 1, I have Eagles number 2, Rams 3, Tampa 4, Lions 5, Washington 6, Green Bay 7. All right. These are the playoff rankings. This is what I have for the playoff rankings. Okay. Let me blow this up so I can throw it smack dab in your face a little better. All right. Here we go. All right. So let's break it down. All right. Chiefs, Minnesota would be on a first round bye. All right. And let me break down what I think is going to happen through all of this. Okay. Let's start off in the AFC. 2nd seed versus the 7th seed, Miami versus Buffalo. Buffalo considered the more superior team, but it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. And here's the deal. When Buffalo played Miami the first time in the year, Buffalo blew Miami out. The second time in the year, the Dolphins went on a game-winning drive with only a few seconds left. Buffalo got into a 60-yard field goal range, and they made a 60-yarder to win the game. A third time, I would typically pick the Miami Dolphins to win in a third battle, but with the new quarterback in Tyler Huntley, I would actually say Buffalo would get that win yet again. and eliminate Miami in the wild card round. Then in the second round, Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. Baltimore being at home and already showing people that they can beat Pittsburgh. I think that remains the same, and Baltimore wins in the wild card round. Pittsburgh, great season. Now you got to figure out who's going to be your quarterback for the future. In that last, I know Alfredo, Broncos not in. I think the Chiefs still going to beat them. The last seed, all right? And even if the Broncos played the Bills still going to win. The last seed, the Chargers versus the Texans. In this matchup, I got the Chargers on the road. Texans are beatable. I think Harbaugh in that defense and with J.K. Dobbins back will be too much for Houston. I think this is the game that would be somewhat of a shootout. Both teams getting in the high 20s and the Chargers winning it in a game-winning field goal. So with that being said, I think that we would go second round. You would have the Chiefs versus Chargers. You would also have the Bills versus Baltimore. Man, those are some matchups. Chiefs versus Chargers. Bills versus Ravens. All right. I'm going to move that forward right now. If the Chiefs did have to play the Chargers in the first round, in the ice cold weather, by the way, Chargers will go down. They've had a successful season. They got a playoff win. Justin Herbert gets his first playoff win in the NFL. They've already exceeded expectations. Nothing to hang your head down for. You had a great season, but the Chiefs edge you out in ice cold weather, and the Chargers are sitting home. And the Chiefs are in the AFC Championship game. Now that Baltimore-Buffalo game, woo, that is a game. That's a game. And I'm sorry, I would have to go with the Baltimore Ravens. Why? Yeah, Bills beat the Chiefs and the Lions early this year. But Baltimore beat Buffalo. Not only did they beat them, they obliterated them. Let's make sure we keep that in mind. Not only did Baltimore beat the Bills, but they obliterated them. The Bills don't want no part of Derrick Henry. I've talked to several Bills fans. They don't want Baltimore. They do not want Baltimore. They don't want Baltimore whatsoever. Lamar Jackson would beat Josh Allen. Even though Josh Allen will probably win the MVP because they've been wanting to give it to him, Lamar would beat Josh Allen. It would be probably revenge for the MVP. Even though we won't know because the NFL honors is until after all of this. So, yeah, I would go Lamar and Derrick Henry in that Baltimore defense beating the Bills in a thriller, man. Josh Allen even has a phenomenal game this one. They stay in it, but Baltimore wins. And there you have it. AFC Championship rematch. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. And y'all got to put in the chat, who are you picking? Kansas City Chiefs at home versus the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship. Let me know in the chat right now, who are you picking in that game? Who are you picking in that game? Kansas City or Baltimore? Let me know in the chat, all right? We'll get back to the AFC Championship game in just a moment. Let's go over to the NFC and what I think is going to go down. All right, here we go. The Minnesota Vikings, ladies and gentlemen, will have the number 1 seed on the first round bye. All right. Then you have the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a tricky one. Philly at home, number 1 defense in the NFL. Can the Packers survive that? Can they break through? I don't know. The weather won't be an issue. They're both used to it. But is Jalen Hurts ready to play? And I'm going to assume that he is ready to play. I'm going to assume he's ready to play. And, man, something tells me Green Bay can shock everybody in this one. But you got to go with Philly, right? You got to go with Philly. in this game, in a thriller, man. So I like Philly because of their defense. I know what Green Bay does against the better defenses. They tend to struggle, even though they still make it a game. I would take Philly in the first round, wild card. Then I will be going to the Washington Rams game. And this one here, ladies and gentlemen, the Rams at home reign supreme. Great season by the rookie in Washington, but it comes to an end because you have to travel on the road to LA with the team who has the experience and know what they're doing, have been there and done that. No need to hang your head either. You had a great season, exceeded expectations. The future is bright in Washington, but the Rams win. And last but not least, we got the Lions in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is tricky. Why? Because the Bucs can put up points with the best of them. And the Lions struggle against teams that can put up points. It's that simple. If you can put up points, you got a chance of beating the Lions. If you can't put up points, you'll never beat them. But you got to go Detroit here, even with all the injuries. You got to go Detroit here, even with all the injuries. Tampa Bay, this is not an indictment on Baker. You went through some stuff this year. You're at home, and Detroit goes on the road and takes this W. Detroit goes on the road and takes the W here. Okay? And then you move forward to the second round. And the Vikings come out of hibernation to face Detroit again. And what do? I'm going to tell you straight up like this. They're going to beat them again because, once again, nobody's talking about the fact that Detroit is still fighting through a lot of injuries. Detroit is fighting through a lot of injuries, and Minnesota's poised. They're on a roll. Minnesota wins that game versus the Detroit Lions at home once again. In Detroit, this isn't a case where you need to blow it up or, man, we're regressing. Hey, man, you were one of the greatest teams this year. You just had that injury bug a little too bad. Too bad, all right? And then that middle seeding, Eagles versus Rams. Once again, I am going to go with the Eagles here at home. The Eagles take care of business. The Rams season come to an end. Good job, Rams, for salvaging what looked like it was going to be a disaster and make it a competitive season. A competitive season, ladies and gentlemen. That sets up the NFC Championship with the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And you got to let me know who you have in the chat if the Vikings are at home versus the Eagles. Who are you picking, the number one defense versus the number two defense? And then you match up the offenses and special teams. Pretty even, if you ask me. So you have to tell me in the chat right now, who would you select, Vikings or Eagles, in the NFC Championship game? All right, let's go back over to the AFC for the AFC Championship game with the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. Boy, people are going to be mad at me for this one. But I got the Baltimore Ravens beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Well, they're going to be mad at me for this one. But I got the Baltimore Ravens beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. There ain't going to be no three-peat for Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson makes it to a Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Lamar Jackson makes it to a Super Bowl. And it just makes the whole MVP snub even louder. Lamar Jackson will make it to a Super Bowl this year. They have what it takes: the running back, the quarterback, the wide receivers. I think that the Baltimore Ravens make it to the Super Bowl this year. I really do. We'll see if that happens, but hey, I got Baltimore making it to the Super Bowl representing the AFC. And on the other side, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. Man, oh man, oh man. Skull Nation will be making it to the Super Bowl over the Philadelphia Eagles. The Vikings are getting in, ladies and gentlemen. The Vikings are getting in. It is going to be a purple Super Bowl. It's going to be purpled out. Minnesota might have to wear the all white ghost uniforms and Baltimore all purple. I don't know. I think Minnesota would have the choice because they have the better record or something like that. But yeah, it is going to be an all purple Super Bowl. I believe so. This we got to get you drug tested, my guy. Hey, listen, time always tells, but we're gonna find out. But I think that the Minnesota Vikings versus the Baltimore Ravens are actually going to be the Super Bowl. That's what the Super Bowl is going to be. Now, a lot of people not going to agree with those Super Bowl predictions, but if it was the Super Bowl, who are you picking in the Super Bowl between the Vikings and the Ravens? Put it in the chat right now. Put it in the chat right now. If it was the Super Bowl matchup, who are you picking, Ravens or Minnesota? See, that's not going to be the Super Bowl. Trust me, man. Any matchup I put up here for the Super Bowl, there would have been a lot of people in the chat saying that's not going to be the Super Bowl. So I get it. I could be very wrong. Both of these teams could lose in the first round, maybe. I don't know. But if it were Vikings versus Baltimore Ravens, who wins the Super Bowl? I think Lamar Jackson would get his first Super Bowl MVP, and he'd be on that list now. I think the Baltimore Ravens would get a Super Bowl here. I think that Derrick Henry will serve a little too much for Minnesota Vikings. Lamar is going to do his thing. Minnesota's going to fight. It's going to be a heck of a game. But I would actually go Baltimore in this matchup. Now, it depends on how these teams are playing in the playoffs. That could change, but man, it could go either way. Like the Vikings could win too, man. This would be a crazy matchup. This would be a crazy matchup. Look at these Bills fans. They mad. They mad because I got Buffalo in the playoff. I mean, I got Lamar going to the Super Bowl. Y'all stop. But yeah, this would be my Super Bowl prediction. Just my prediction, man. Doesn't make me right. It could be any one of a lot of these teams, all right? But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my NFL playoff predictions. I just dropped the link in the chat. I didn't know I went live on all the roundtables just about. So I must have highlighted them or something to make them all live. But if you're watching right now, which we have a lot of people watching right now, I want y'all to go over to Roundtable Sports, which I just dropped the link in the chat. Go to Roundtable Sports and subscribe to the network's main channel. So when you enjoy the Roundtable every week, understand that it is under the umbrella of Roundtable Sports, the main Roundtable Sports channel. So some of your favorite contributors, they'll be a part of shows right here on the Roundtable Sports channel. So come through and make sure that you subscribe to the main mother channel of Roundtable Sports. No different from ESPN, FS1, all of those networks. This is the main hub for the network. And under that are the individual roundtables, which you are attending right now. So I see people on NFC South, NFC East, NFC North, NFC West, and AFC West, and AFC South right now watching. Go ahead and go to Roundtable Sports and subscribe to the channel now. Shout out to Flick Short said, "What up, TD? Jets interview Vrabel today. Interesting. All right. So thank y'all so much for tuning in this morning to Wake Up and Ball NFL playoff prediction. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. I know I probably triggered some people, made some people happy, made some people mad. But it's just a prediction. I'm prepared to be wrong, but what I will tell you is that this is going to be the most exciting playoffs that we have ever had in NFL history. Y'all stay tuned. Enjoy. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. All right. Roundtable Sports. Let's go to the next level. Thank y'all for tuning in. I will see y'all later. All right. I clicked on because it said NFC South. Who that? That's what's up. But yeah. This is NFC South. Everybody's watching right now. Just go ahead and click on that link and subscribe to the main Roundtable channel, though. Okay. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. More to come on this channel. We have the playoff matchups, okay? So your favorite creator for your team and another team, if they match up in the playoffs, they're going to do a special showdown show right here on Roundtable Sports. Not the Roundtable, but right here on the main channel. All right? Shout out to JT, said Roundtable Sports is where it's at. Appreciate you, homie. Love y'all. We're going to get up out of here. Y'all take care, and y'all have an amazing Friday. Y'all go get it. Wake up. You've already done. Now go ball. Have a great day, and go prosper. Love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. I'm out.